Welcome back. How you doing? Do I look older? It's been like 2 months since I recorded a video. I guess that doesn't really matter to you because I haven't uploaded any of these yet. But anyway, what will really humble you is editing videos. If you want to be humbled, edit videos of yourself talking and you'll realize, wow, I look old. Wow, I do not look as good as I used to. Or maybe I don't look as good as I think I used to. We don't know. Anyway, today, I don't really have, here's the story. Episode 2 of the essay, because we want to go through the LaBounty format. The problem is, the way I do this with my students is I have 2 monitors and I go through each paragraph. Okay, there's 4 paragraphs. And I want everyone to understand the purpose and goals of each paragraph and why there's 4 paragraphs. So I go through it and I can't do that because I got too many wires and microphones and stuff in front of my keyboard. So what I'm going to do is talk through it. You're going to write it down. And then probably when I edit, I'll put the little rundown on the right side so that you can see what we're talking about. But I want to tell you the format rather than write it on a Word doc and give it to you, because for years I had a Word doc and I gave it to students and nobody read it. And when they did read it, I use examples to try to illustrate the point. And then what do you think the kids do? They just like use my examples. Okay, this is terrible because as you just watched in episode 1 of the essay, it's all about making sure that this essay is about you and that the story drives us to Sarah Town, okay, to get there where we feel like we know her. This is the example that we're using is Sarah. Okay. So the LaBounty format, 4 paragraphs. Each paragraph has a purpose to solve what I've identified as the major problems with kids' essays. The reason it's 4 paragraphs and not, oh, I heard in English class, there's an argumentative essay format that's 5 paragraphs. Okay, it doesn't matter. 4 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs. What I know is if you write 5, your essay is going to be too long. So the Common App essay, which is generally what most people consider the main college essay, is 650 words. I don't tell students this because if you write 800 words, it's very likely that we're going to edit some stuff and then we're going to change some things and then we're going to end up at a perfect length. Rather than if you send a 650 word essay, I'm probably going to edit some things. We're going to end up at a 500 word essay. So it's fine to go over on your first draft. No such thing as a good first draft. I don't care if you're Barack Obama. I don't care if you're Noah Ephron. Why are these the random examples that pop in my head? I don't know. I don't care if you're an awesome writer. Your first draft's not going to be good. So first draft, just write it out. And then we're going to do some editing. Okay, that's the reason basically for 4 paragraphs besides the flow. The flow we're going to learn. Okay, but 650 words. You're going to write something personal. We've already talked about this. Okay, you have 200,000 stories you can tell. You say, I don't have any stories to tell, LaBounty. I'm only a 17-year-old kid. You have plenty of stories to tell because you've lived on this earth 17 years. This one always shakes people up. One of the best essays I ever read was about fried chicken. How can that be the case? Because it's not about fried chicken. It's about that kid's relationship with his mother and how they have Sunday dinners. And he's worried about his little brother because I'm going to college. Are they still going to eat chicken every Sunday? The point is you're going to tell a story. You're not going to overthink it. And you're not going to ask yourself, is this the kind of story that a college admissions person wants to read? Because if you ask yourself that question, you're doing the thing that we talked about in the last episode about your aunt who told you to write about Honduras, okay? You need to write what matters to you. And if you write what matters to you, it's true, there's going to be a point in the essay in which the reader is going to be like, cool story, bro. Like, why are you telling me this? And we're going to solve that in paragraph 3. But so this is what you're going to do. You're going to ask yourself a hard question about what should I tell somebody? What should I tell somebody about me? And I know it's hard because you're 17. You're like, I don't know what to tell people. But you're just going to pick something. And that's what the prompts are there for. The Common App prompts, I don't really want to find them right now. But like I said in the last video, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. I also promised I would tell you not to pick number 7, but I forgot to explain why. Number 7 basically says choose any essay you want to send if you want to send it. This is their way of trying to be cool and be like, oh, if you don't have to write these prompts, you can write whatever you want. If you do that, you're going to mess up because you're going to pick your English essay, you're going to pick your history essay that you wrote that was really good, that you got an A on, and you're going to send it and it's going to be terrible because it's not about you. So don't pick number 7. All the other prompts are basically different ways of just asking you to tell a story. Prompt 1 is about, like, tell us something about your interest or your talent or your background. Prompt 2 is about, hey, we know sometimes obstacles can face us. What's an example that you've had some obstacles? That prompt is not about obstacles. That prompt is about understanding how you deal with things and how you learn from the experience. Remember, it's all about you. Prompt 3 is about, oh, did you question any strong ideas in your life? If you haven't, don't pick number 3. Number 4 is, are you grateful for anyone in your life? Okay, it's also a trap. You're going to talk about your mom. It's not about you. So we have beat this to death. This has got to be about you. Let's go through the paragraphs. Paragraph 1's goal is for me as a reader to start off not wanting to do this. And the way that I want to do that is the example I gave you about the MIT girl where she starts writing and I immediately want to delete the essay. Okay. So your goal is in the first sentence. The way I imagine this happening is I'm going to tell you stuff, you're going to write it down, okay? In the first sentence, you're going to start with a strong opening sentence. Humor is good. Self-deprecation is good. Doesn't matter. Something that grabs my attention, okay? Something that grabs my attention. You can't imagine a scenario in which I would be glad to say that my dog died. But crazy, last year that my dog died and it ended up being a blessing. Okay, now I'm interested. I'm literally making this up right now. I have no idea. I did not prepare for this, okay? Interesting story, grab my attention. Doesn't have to be crazy, doesn't have to be loco, okay? You're just gonna grab my attention so I'm not bored. Here's boring. Hi, my name's Chris. I'm originally from Marin County. Marin County is a county north of San Francisco, about, you know, my town in particular is about 30 miles north. It's a pretty cool place to grow up. I mean, this is boring, okay? You're going to talk, you're going to grab my attention. The second thing you're going to do in paragraph 1 is you're going to tell me what the essay is going to be about. I often do not know what the essay is about until like 3/4 through the essay, and this is not good because this is where you start losing everyone's attention. No one knows what you're talking about and they're all getting irritated, okay? This is a stylistic thing. I don't like it. I'm not telling you not to do it, but a lot of kids start with that thing where it's like, my pencil was tapping on my desk as the anticipation of the test came. This is, I think it's called in media res. I'm starting in the middle of the action. This is the kind of thing that a book at Barnes & Noble about essays would tell you to do. I don't like it. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you I don't like it. Just go, you're going to be straightforward and you're going to tell me what this essay is going to be about. So the easiest way to do that is to repeat the prompt back. You don't have to, but this is the easiest way to do it. So you'll say, obstacles that we encounter can be fundamental to later success. That's the prompt. In my case, losing my dog led me down a strange path where I learned that I really was fascinated by the world of veterinary medicine. Okay, I don't know if this is a good essay topic. I'm just giving you an example, right? This way, I, as a reader, go, oh, okay, pick number 2, going to talk about veterinary medicine. Grabbed my attention with a little funny anecdote about how she's, quote, glad that her dog died, even though she's not. It's a joke, okay? This is a good start. Do I have some concerns? Of course I have concerns. We always have concerns, and that's why the next paragraph solves those concerns. So my first concern's about this, just coming up off the dome. This is going to be a kid that's uncomfortable talking about themselves, so they want to talk about their major. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes it's okay to talk about your major, but this is my concern. Are you uncomfortable talking about yourself, and so instead you want to talk about your desired major? The second thing I'm wondering about is this going to be like a little bit too cutesy where it's like, oh, my dog and I died and I'm trying to be clever. These are the things I'm worried about, but I'm not worried yet because paragraph 1 did exactly what it's supposed to do. In review, paragraph 1, grab my attention so I'm not bored to death. Tell me what the essay is going to be about so I'm not guessing. Preferable that you repeat the prompt so I know which one you picked. That's paragraph 1. Paragraph 2 is the easy one. This is just the story. Tell the story. Okay, this sounds boring, but LaBounty told me, okay, what happened was we were walking and we decided to go hiking in the hills. And we went to the hills and we had a fun time and I threw the boomerang and then there was like all these deer and it was fun because the dog went running after the deer and he's having so much fun and he jumped in the creek. Anyway, it was this great day. And then when we got to the street where we were going to get back into the car, my dog ran out into the street because he saw another dog. You know, the dog didn't know it was a major street and he got run over. Okay. I can't believe I'm using this terrible example. This story actually just popped in my head, I think, because this actually happened to my brother. Our dog got run over after hiking in the hills. Okay. So that's the story. What are we worried about? Oh my God, why is she telling this story? This is a college admissions essay. If your mom reads this, she's going to immediately tell you to delete it. If your English teacher reads this, she's going to immediately tell you to delete it. Because this story does not seem like it should be a professional essay that goes to a college, right? But it can be because this is the car. It's driving us to Saratown. How are we going to get there unless the story takes us there? Okay. The story is definitely, you can already figure it out. In paragraph 3, we're going to learn how she changed, how she grew, how she matured, how she developed an interest in veterinary medicine, how she developed, how she realized that her personal gift is empathy towards animals. All those things we're going to learn. We know that we can feel it now, right? But we can't get there unless the story is there. And the story is paragraph 2. Okay, the only thing you can do to mess up paragraph 2, because it's just your life, is forget to put in detail. Okay, so if you say, yeah, what happened was I went on a walk and dog got run over and changed my life forever. I was crushed. Okay, that's not a good story. Stories have details, okay? You were out in the hills and there was the dog was running through the river and then he was running after the deer and you were noticing how much fun he was having, which is why you kind of forgot about the leash for a minute. Then you went back to get into the car and there's a little fence, you know, between the hill and the street, but you forgot he's a dog. He can go under the fence and he went flying under the fence after the other dog, boom, got hit by the car. This is dramatic stuff. I'm interested. Now you're worried. This has nothing to do with college. Okay, fine. Now we're on paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 solves all of our drama about, is this essay about you? Because this is the paragraph that's about Sarah. What did she learn? How did you grow? How did you change? Most good essays are about change. Everything in your life is changing. We expect change out of 17-year-olds, okay? What has changed in the last 5 years in your life? 5 years ago, you were 13. Can you imagine the change between 13 and 17? It's gigantic, right? Now, what has changed for LaBounty between 46 and 51? Not much. Same job. Same chair, same monitor, same keyboard. I mean, not much, right? But you're 17. Things have changed. This is where the change goes, okay? This is where we learn about you. This is where we say, oh, it's not a story about dogs. It's a story about Sarah. Paragraph 3 is better illustrated for a lot of different reasons, where we talked in episode 1 about how people write about things that aren't about them. They write about football. They write about grandma. They write about, those are the examples I think I gave in episode 1. Those essays can be good. Sometimes I'll sit down and I'll say, okay, this is what you decided to write about? Yeah. How do we make it good? What do you mean? Well, how do we make it bad? And they usually get that part. Oh, how do we make it bad is I just got, I don't talk about myself at all. Right. How do we make it good? It's not an essay about grandma. It's an essay about me. What did you learn from grandma? How did it motivate you? How did it change you? How did it like structure your thinking about the future? Paragraph 3 is where we learn all those things. In this case, with this random example, the girl will probably talk about how she had exposure to the hospital, exposure to the veterinarian, exposure to the surgeries and the different ideas that they had to treat the dog and the care that they had and the empathy that they showed. Changed something in her, right? Now we believe it. Now we're like, oh, wow, Sarah. The car has taken us. We're at Sarahtown. We feel like we get it. I wish I'd used a better example, but I think this is working. Okay, paragraph 3 is about you. Paragraph 4 is a conclusion, but you have to do 3 things. Number 1, all college essays have to end positive, like we talked about. LaBounty, why are you telling me how to write, man? I want to write how I want to write. True, but this is a formula because has a goal. The goal is they are going to root for you and imagine you on campus. So all college essays end positive because going to college is a positive experience. I can turn any essay positive. How do you turn this essay positive? Which is probably subconsciously why I chose this dog example. This is not a positive essay. This is very sad. But it's positive because you turned it into, oh, that's why I'm super excited to like get involved in veterinary medicine because I know that I can help people. I always knew I wanted to help people, but I didn't really imagine myself like as a nurse or a doctor in a hospital. I don't know why, I just didn't really imagine it, but now I can see it. Now I can see myself there. Like people bring their dogs in and I'm like fixing them and stuff. So now it's positive. We're like, oh, go Sarah. The second thing, that's number 1, end positive. The second thing you have to do in paragraph 4 is talk about your future, talk about college. Those are often same thing, but oftentimes not the same thing. So what I mean by that is like if you say, in my future, I'm really excited about being a welder. Nothing wrong with being a welder, but now I'm like, oh, I was all excited. Sarah's going to be a veterinary medicine major and she's going to be... Why am I not excited about you being a welder? Because I can't imagine you on campus in our university when welding is a vocational trade that you'll learn outside of the 4-year college environment. So now I don't really like feel like I'm rooting for you. I'm like, oh, good for you, but it's not going to happen here, right? So that's why you're talking about your future is important because these people want to imagine you succeeding in the future. You're young people, you're going to do it. And you have to talk about college because if you don't talk about college, it's weird. It's like, we are all working at a college and you didn't mention once that you're excited to be on campus, you're excited to take classes, you're excited to meet new people, you're excited for things around college. You can tell the truth. I want to go to football games. That's fine. It's about college, right? If you don't talk about college at all, it's weird because these people work at a college. So what happens then? The whole point of the essay. Paragraph 1, you got me ready. You got me knowing what the essay is going to be about. I'm not confused. Paragraph 2, you told me the story. The car drove us to Sarahtown. Paragraph 3, we learned about Sarah. Paragraph 4, you told us about how you're excited to college. You're excited for your future. This is obvious that now we're going to root for you. And if we root for you, and this is all subconscious, yeah, Sarah, she's going to do it. She's going to make it. That's how you get accepted. Everything else being equal. If you have all Fs, you're not going to get accepted. But I'm talking about if everything else is set up, the essay brings you to that place where they're now rooting for you. It would probably be helpful if you had this written out, but I don't think it'd be good because I'd have to use weird examples again. You just want to know the themes. The themes are paragraph 1 gets us ready. Paragraph 2 tells the story. Paragraph 3 teaches us about Sarah. And paragraph 4 shows me her goals. Awesome essay. This essay is always good. There's never a time that someone writes an essay that's not good if they follow this structure. Now let's talk about the mistakes that often happen. When the mistakes happen, it's because of usually 2 things. And you can probably already predict them because I've been ranting about them. Paragraph 3 has to be about you. If you told me about grandma, but didn't tell, and then told me in paragraph 3 more stuff about grandma, I still cannot feel like I know you, because we're not admitting grandma to college. We're admitting you. That's the main one, because that's the hard one. Paragraph 3 is the hard one. You got to talk about yourself and how you've changed and how you've grown and what you've learned and what you're thinking about. Okay. And the second problem is no understanding of paragraph 4 and how it has to be about like your future. That one's less common, but it does happen that people like, I say, well, what are you excited about college? Oh, I didn't know I should write about that. No, you should put that in. What do you think you're going to do in the future? LaBounty, I have no idea. I'm 17. Well, just put something. I don't know what I want to major in, LaBounty. I'm only 17. I'm totally confused. Yeah, I know. We're just make something up. These people will never know that you've changed your major 3 times. They're never going to know that. And I find it's frustrating, because colleges expect that kids like are going to know what they want to study when they're 17, and they just don't. Sorry, Mom. I know you wish that, Sarah knew exactly what she wants to do right now, but she doesn't, because she's 17. So you're going to say something in paragraph 4 about your future that gets us fired up about you. Okay. Those are the 2 things. I think that's it. I'm trying to like be a little bit more upbeat, because I noticed that my essays, my videos start off usually with me like scowling at the camera. So we will talk soon. And I think I'm going to, well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to record next, but you will stay in suspense. All right. Love and respect.